Coming up on Dust Up.
I can't see. It's bouncing me around, and any little mishap, you got a wrecked airplane.
All of a sudden, bang, right in the prop. You can't land in a wet field, you're toast.
Nipawin, northern Saskatchewan, where success is measured by the ability to coax food out of the ground. But sometimes, even the most skilled growers need little help from above.
What makes a good spray pilot is lack of fear and common sense.
For nearly a century, daredevil pilots like Brennan Jardine have given farmers a fighting chance to survive and thrive. It's called crop dusting, and the method is as simple as it is dangerous. Dive bomb the fields from the air and hit them hard with an array of chemicals that deal a death blow to disease, pests, and weeds. But sometimes there are other casualties. 2 weeks ago, with his hired pilot on board, Brennan's spare plane crashed deep in the woods near the airport. The pilot miraculously survived and lies bruised and broken in hospital, but the airplane is totaled.
Got a plane in the trees. So get it out, please.
Okay, start letting her down.
Let her down now?
Yee-hoo.
The wreck is being salvaged by a team of locals, headed by Brennan's father and former business partner, Bud Jardine. Using prairie grit and ingenuity, the men must find a way to pull the plane's carcass up a 200-foot muddy embankment and through a thick stand of trees.
It's a very steep incline, so you don't have much control of things when they start to move. If anything slips, you're going to be trapped under.
Removing the wreckage isn't just for cleanup's sake.
The challenge was to try and save as much as you can of the airplane without damaging parts.
Bud plans to harvest every usable part from this Piper Pawnee. The plane is no longer manufactured and is becoming an endangered species. During World War II, 80% of American military pilots were trained on the Pawnee's predecessor, the simple and affordable Piper J3 Cub. This workhorse was a favorite of post-war daredevil crop dusters.
Watch him dip under the tree.
And was the inspiration for the Pawnee, one of the world's first purpose-built spray planes. The last Pawnee rolled off the assembly line in 1982, but they're still being used by crop dusters everywhere, including the Jardines and Nipawin's newest spray pilot, Travis Carlee.
Nipawin traffic, Kilo backtracking 2-1, taxiway.
Travis has started a company called AccuMark, and he plans to give the Jardines a run for their money. He and Brennan are giving each other a wide berth.
When we're in around the airport, I just ignore him. I just don't have any respect for Brennan at all, period.
I try to just do my own thing. I just don't like Travis taking up space in my head.
Travis is planning to buy a second plane, a Piper Brave. With larger payloads and increased flying range, the Brave can dramatically outspray the Pawnee. And Travis is hoping it will give him the edge he needs.
Alrighty, I was just gonna slip out and touch base with you sometime.
He's already spreading the word about the new plane. And farmers aren't the only ones taking notice.
She saw this ad.
What's that?
This AccuMark.
Brennan's kid sister Shannon Jardine is working today as his ground crew.
Did you say his name on there?
No.
No, he never puts his name because his name is mud in this town. He doesn't really know how to fly. So he puts out the type of equipment that he has.
Piper Brave. This is a bigger plane, right?
If Brennan wants to remain the #1 sprayer in Nipawin, he'll have to dig himself out of a financial hole. The plane that crashed wasn't insured.
My recovery strategy from this is just to fly lots of acres. I got to get back in the saddle, which I've been doing.
What he needs now is a high-volume customer.
How's that sound? And then we'll try and come down there and rock and roll and get her done.
And he's just lined up a major league audition.
I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks. Yeah. Okay, bye. That was one of her farms. I'm trying to get my foot in the door, and this is the first call. You know, I want to look after guys around here, but I also want to get in on that action, right?
One Earth Farms is the largest corporate grower in Canada.
Oh, yeah, life's good, man. Life is good. There we go.
It's a small job with huge potential.
If you could do a good job with these people, well, there could be a lot of future work lined up for him.
That could turn into the best brain in the world. In the world, man. Like, a 1,000,000-acre farm gets a sprayer's paradise. It'd be my retirement plan. You know, those kind of acres, I could spray till I'm 90 years old. I better go. Next load.
Nearby, Travis Carlee is spraying fungicide on waterlogged fields.
That land is just so saturated. It's super wet. It's just been a bad year weather-wise.
In fact, in Saskatchewan, it's been the worst year in history weather-wise, with over 600 millimeters of rainfall, nearly twice as much as normal. That's enough to drown entire crops, and those that survive are plagued with weeds and fungus. A hefty dose of fungicide is their only hope. For crop dusters, it means lots of work, but with the water comes unpredictable hazards.
Just moving into my last pass now.
A bird in the propeller can cause serious problems for the single engine driving it, and for the pilot, it can be fatal.
There's a bluff that stuck out in the field. So I come down in that other side, and that's where those ducks flew out of that water and bang, right in the prop. It was a real good thud inside the airplane.
Shit. Hit a duck.
The duck's life ended instantaneously. Now, Travis's engine may be dying a slow death.
Got an RPM draw. Got to quickly find a road.
Attempting an emergency landing in a marsh is futile.
Your landing gears is going to dig in and you're going to start flipping it over. You're going to have a pretty good wreck. You're done.
After a mid-air collision with a duck, Travis Carlee's engine is failing. He needs to make an emergency landing wherever he can.
If you're above terrain where it's all water, you're not going to land in that field. You're toast.
Travis spots a nearby road and comes in for a landing.
I was approaching on a shitty little gravel road at 100 mile an hour. There's not any room there for error.
Travis manages to get the plane safely on the ground and avert disaster. But his plane is out of commission. Until a mechanic can check it, he has no idea how badly his engine is damaged.
So that was it. I just shut it down right there.
So I'm going to go back and find the dead duck and I'm going to eat him.
Before heading out of town, Brennan pays a visit to the crash site. It's day 2 of the recovery operation, headed up by Brennan's former business partner and father, Bud Jardine.
Okay, Brennan, you come and lift on the airplane here?
The last time they were together, Brennan asked to lease his father's spare plane.
You think I'm stupid?
The answer was no, and the tempers were hot.
I had respect for my parents, but that's not the case for me and my son.
This is retarded here.
Now, Brennan steps up to help with the salvage operation.
We got this root coming up here that could break the chain.
What will break it?
That.
Well, let's just throw something in there.
Let's just take our time and do it right.
My dad, Bud, and my brother, Brennan, are both pretty independent spirits. They don't like being told what to do too much either.
Just yank her
Well,
up
you
the
do
hill.
what the you want. If you want it,
No, I want to pull it up. But not all day. I should be spraying today. Now I'm shut down. See if I lose 10 hours of spraying at 200 acres an hour. That's 2,000 acres times, say, $7. That's 14 grand.
Hold it. It's revving that thing up now.
This skidder will pull this thing up the hill.
We're not worried about it pulling up the hill. We got to get it out of this hole. Don't pay attention to him.
He had an idea of how it was going to go. What I said was not going to make any difference.
Back to your radio.
Hey, Al, can you hear me?
Tell him to slack off.
Here, I've got to go spraying. Rather than get into a power struggle here, I just walked away, right?
Yeah, slack off. We're going to change the pulley.
While Bud oversees the recovery, Brennan returns to his only remaining plane.
This is my windsock here.
He's about to head south, where what could be his all-time biggest customer is waiting.
It's a nice calm day, and the wind's in our direction. As a precaution, I'm going to give you this phone.
Shannon will drive Brennan's rig the 250 kilometers to the One Earth Farms job site.
Press the tow haul right here.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you there.
The job site is about an hour's flight southeast of Nipawin. Brennan locates his destination from the air. On the ground, Sam Labont is waiting.
Always got to spray our peas and our canola for now.
Sam is an operations manager for One Earth Farms, a company that's spearheading a whole new era in Canadian agriculture. In 1872, the Dominion Lands Act granted parcels of land to farmers for $10 each. The size, 160 acres. With land leases in 3 provinces, One Earth Farms already represents 1,000 farms that size. If Brennan can reel in this client, he'll be able to book the equivalent of hundreds of his regular customers with one phone call. But before he can start this job, he has to find a place to land. There's no airport nearby.
And I don't like to land on a road without physically going and looking at it, but because of the distance, I was unable to do that.
For an experienced crop duster, landing on a gravel road is par for the course. But that doesn't make it easy. Soft shoulders and unpredictable traffic are among the hazards that require experience and skill.
There's a fine line there. You see, you can be too scared, or you can be too aggressive. Next thing you know, you're pushing up daisies, right?
With Labont waiting and watching, Brennan threads the needle between unsuspecting vehicles and finally touches down a kilometer away.
Well, I guess we'll go and chase him down.
It's a rough start, but the afternoon is young.
How's it going?
Oh, not bad. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Is there another road that way? This isn't the best road to land on.
So you want something harder than that?
Like, actually, that east-west road is a little better.
Okay, yep.
If Brennan can impress Sam Labont, this single job could be the gateway to a motherload of work. The pressure is on. Brennan Jardine is about to spray for his biggest ever potential customer.
If I landed here, swung in, I put my road signs up, take off that way, that might work. Because this is nice and wide, it's been cut.
Shannon arrives with Brennan's trailer.
Hi, you made her, eh? Sam, this is my sister Shannon.
Hi.
Sam is the eyes and ears of Brennan's biggest prospect, and he's watching Brennan closely.
Might have a look over his shoulder, make sure he does everything right.
It's time to rock and roll now.
Brennan will be spraying fungicide to combat disease brought on by recent flooding. After diluting the compounds with water, Brennan will load the solution into the spray plane using his gas-powered pump. Or not.
Doesn't sound good. It just locked on me.
This could be a short audition.
Why would this have to happen now?
If he can't start the motor for his chemical pump, Brennan won't be able to get this job off the ground.
Doesn't want to go?
No, I don't.
Luckily, Labont is handy with a screwdriver.
There we go. Are the gods really with us today? I don't know.
Finally, all the pieces are in place for nailing the job, except time.
I see storm clouds over there.
On the horizon, a storm's brewing.
So I know it's not going to be very fun flying around. Clear?
Brennan presses on, hoping to beat the clock and the weather. Back at the Nipawin Airport, the engine has been pulled out of Travis's crippled Pawnee. Mechanic Doug McBain checks the damage.
Because the teeth started falling off of this mag drive gear, they would fly around and get caught between these other gears.
The resistance caused by the duck in the propeller was enough to strip a gear inside the engine.
And Travis kept flying it. Eventually it would take all the teeth off of here and the engine would quit. And usually at a bad time. Yeah, it's good we shut her down. It's just not nosed into a field or it's upside down. So, the other plane's going to be here way ahead of this being done. I can see that. So let's focus on that Brave right now.
That Brave is 750 kilometers away in Alberta. Travis hires Doug to take a road trip with him to check out the used airplane.
As far as Brennan's concerned, I don't think that he's going to view it as a good thing at all. I know he referred to himself as the go-to man for Nipawin, and I've been stepping on his toes a lot. That's just the way it is. That's life.
Back at One Earth Farms, Brennan is going full tilt to beat a looming thunderstorm.
How long was I gone for, Shannon? 18 minutes, yeah. So I'll be faster this time.
The good news is, Brennan has passed the audition.
For sure, so far, I just got good words for him. Like, I'll take off and I'll leave him doing his own thing, eh?
The bad news is, the storm has arrived.
I was really scared because it was a big storm and it came down really quickly.
Shannon knows that Brennan's spray runs have been taking 18 minutes.
He left at 6:37 and it's 7:15, like it's longer than half an hour.
The recent crash has frayed Shannon's nerves. She fears the worst.
It was scary because you have no idea where they are. They're out of range and you can't hear them, and he could be dead, he could be crashed. I was trying to figure out what to do, and I was getting pretty close to call 911.
Shannon Jardine is counting the minutes since Brennan took off. He's long overdue, and he's flying in the middle of a treacherous storm.
He could be dead, he could be crashed.
45 minutes have passed. And then...
Ah, there he is! Haha, okay.
The plane is on the horizon, but Brennan's not out of the woods. He's flying right into the worst of the wind and rain.
By the time I come back to the road, the storm is right where I took off. So I thought, oh, this isn't good.
I know that he can't see out his windshield because there's no windshield wipers on these spray planes, right? You're blind.
Plus, the wind came up, so I had a strong crosswind. Normally I wouldn't land in a crosswind like that.
Brennan makes an approach. A final decision to land will have to be made in a split second.
I had the flaps on, I'm coming down.
Unable to see the road, he aborts the landing.
Then I just gave it the power, pulled up the flaps, and took off out of there. Flew around, and that's when I went, okay, how am I going to do this? I can't see, it's bouncing me around, there's a crosswind. What am I going to do?
Back at the crash site, Bud and his team are making steady progress, and none too soon, the thunderstorm is heading for Nipawin.
I know there's rain on the way. I sure hope we get it up the hill.
A heavy rain will turn this hill into a mudslide. With the plane most of the way up, the team goes into high gear.
Oh, the hill is not solid. This is so soft it's just going to go whoosh.
So we're pretty well over the hump. Let's get her out of here. Okay.
Finally, they manage to pull the wreck out of the woods before the storm hits.
Great show.
By now, the crash and the pilot's miraculous survival are the talk of the town. The wreck is a grim reminder of the risks crop dusters take to keep the farmers in business. 250 kilometers to the south, Brennan is still flying blind in the heart of the storm and running low on fuel.
I wanted to say, this, I'm out of here, and go to an alternate, but that would have been a long ways from there.
Still unable to see the road, Brennan makes another approach. He may be out of luck, but he's not out of tricks.
I kicked the side door open, and then I skidded it sideways, and then I was able to see the ground, right? And it was bouncing me around, and I'm looking. Okay, now it's time. Kick it straight. And boom. Touchdown.
A close brush with death, but for Brennan, it's all in a day's work.
Still just about threw me off into the ditch. So I was happy to, get out of the plane that day, right? I didn't wreck the airplane. I got some acres done. Life's good. What did you think of that landing?
God, I was scared.
So let's get out of here before we get struck by lightning. This is kind of a special moment for me and my dad because we're going to go out and put my wrecked airplane with his wrecked airplanes. So it's kind of a bonding time for us. I wouldn't stay standing up there.
No, I'm just going to get it right up there.
Too busy showing off.
You better stand back.
I know what the hell I'm doing.
Too many guys giving directions here. I'm going to go because I got other things to do. So
Well, go and do them.
have at her.